Mr. Speaker, I yield myself 3 minutes.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I stand with the American people and the House leadership in support of H.R. 5175, the Democracy and Strengthening by Casting Light on Spending and Elections Act, or the Disclosure Act. The legislation is designed to bring greater disclosure and transparency to election spending. The importance of the objective was reinforced in the Supreme Court's accompanying 8-1 decision that reaffirmed the constitutionality and necessity of laws that require this disclosure of political spending. Our democracy requires transparency and accountability in our political campaigns. Knowing the source of political spending allows voters to investigate the motives and better access the truthfulness and accuracy of the claims of the spenders and the candidates. The Disclosure Act is a careful response to address the likely consequences of the Citizens United decision. The bill enhances disclosure requirements for corporations, unions, and other groups that decide to make campaign-related expenditures or transfers funds to other organizations for the purpose of engaging in campaign-related activity. This improvement to current disclosure requirements allows voters to follow the money and ensure that special interest money cannot hide behind sham organizations and shell corporations. If outside groups spend their fund in campaigns, the Supreme Court has recognized it essential to hold them accountable. Voters have the right to know who is trying to buy our elections. The bill expands disclaimers to require CEOs or highest-ranking recorded officials of organizations that sponsor political advertisements to record "Stand by your ad" disclaimers, as well as protest taxpayers' dollars from misuse by preventing certain government contractors and TARP beneficiaries from making campaign-related expenditures. The Disclosure Act also closes a loophole created by Citizens United to ensure that foreign corporations and foreign governments are not able to influence American elections by spending unlimited sums through the United States subsidiaries or affiliates. By allowing these entities to fund campaign communications, foreign-controlled corporations could use potentially bottomless coffers to influence the course of political debate and play a role in writing U.S. policy. Considerable attention has been focused on the narrow exemption included in the bill, which is designed to accommodate nonprofit issues advocacy groups who long have participated in political activity of which its dues-paying members are aware of their support. To be eligible for that exemption, an organization must have more than 500,000 dues-paying members with their presence in all 50 states, have tax-exempt status for the previous 10 years, and derive no more than 50% of its funding from corporate or union sources. It cannot use any corporate or union money to pay for campaign-related expenditures. The narrowness of the existing exemption will prevent future organizations from being formed to function only as a dummy or sham group, existing only to make contribution expenditures, but without needing to disclose their major funders. Exempted groups will still be required to file publicly available reports disclosing their campaign-related expenditures, and the CEOs of these groups will still have to appear in and take responsibility for all campaign.
Time's expired.
I'll allow myself 30 seconds.
Gentleman is recognized.
For all by the group. The Disclosure Act assures transparency, enhances accountability, provides prompt and honest disclosure of political spending by others seeking to influence our elections. A total of 6 hearings were held in the House and Senate with more than 36 expert witnesses. Concerned citizens have been vocal about the potential consequences of the Citizens United decision, sending nearly 2,500 emails and making roughly 4,500 phone calls in 1 week to the Committee of House Administration, urging Congress to quickly consider legislation that address the loopholes created by the Citizens United ruling. This outcry support reveals, I allow myself 30 more seconds. This outcry for support reveals the Disclosure Act reflects the will of the American people and commands the support of the representatives. In addition, the legislation is shaped with 114 co-sponsors and a broad spectrum of support. H.R. 5175 promotes openness in our politics. If Congress does not adapt the Disclosure Act, the public will be left in the dark to wonder whose interests are truly being served by a flood of negative advertising that will come to dominate campaigns. I urge all members to support this legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves the balance of his time. The gentleman from California, Mr. Lundgren, is recognized.